everyone, I'm Hannah Kate from Coping Through Craft and welcome back. Today I'm going to be discussing more about how I use art to not only heal but also to celebrate. So let's get into the video.
So when I'm using art as therapy, I really like to think about how I'm feeling that day, how I've been feeling, what the week was like, what the month was like. This week and month, I've been feeling a bit overwhelmed and stressed because there's been a lot of things happening very fast, and I feel like I haven't had much time to breathe. So I chose a quote to remind me to slow down, but I liked this quote in particular because it not only reminded me to slow down, but it also celebrated that slowing down can ultimately speed up, that you need to remember self-care and to take care of yourself because you can't pour from an empty cup. When I am feeling a bit overwhelmed and stressed, I like to use my Cricut to card make because it does a lot of the work for me. I can design everything right in front of me. I don't have to make my desk all messy and then clean it up later. So it just feels a little bit more productive to me to be able to just do everything online and just glue all the pieces together. For this card, I particularly took inspiration from a crabapple tree that we have in our yard. Even in college, my mom would send me pictures whenever the crabapple tree bloomed, and this week it finally bloomed. So I really wanted to make a card surrounding that because it's always been a constant in my life and has always made me really happy to see it. And it really fit with this quote because often our crabapple tree is the last one to bloom when all of our neighbors have bloomed a while ago. So ours takes its time, but it's so beautiful at the end. One thing I love about expressing myself through art is that there are no rules. So I can really put my feelings on paper, and ultimately, somebody might not understand what my interpretation was. And it feels a lot safer to me when you might be able to look at a card and see one interpretation, but it could be completely different to what I'm seeing or feeling or what I put into that card. So for this one, I chose to use some glitter glue to add the petals and leaves to my card. And I made my petals in clusters. And while that's not often what a crabapple tree looks like, it's always completely beautiful all around. There's pink leaves everywhere, but I wasn't feeling like I wanted to have a huge celebration on my paper because it was also a reminder to slow down, and I expressed that through my clusters of leaves. I don't always have to be right on the ball, be super great in the game. I can take the time to slow down, to breathe, to work at things at my own pace, and I don't always have to be this big, beautiful tree that everyone sees. I can be who I want to be and what's healthy for me at that time. I think a big misconception in art is that it always has to be pretty and beautiful, and when somebody looks at it, they know exactly what you were thinking, why you made that painting or drew that. But in reality, art can be whatever we want it to be, and it is whatever the person who's seen it wants it to be. It's whatever the next person seeing it wants to be, and it's what you want it to be as you're making it. So when I'm using art as therapy, I'm a lot more mindful about what I'm making and feeling while I'm making something, as opposed to just making a card to send to somebody or making a card for an order where I have an agenda on my mind. I know the design I'm going to do. Whereas when I'm really trying to heal or celebrate through art, I really like to take my time, discover what I'm feeling. There might be feelings that I didn't realize I was feeling. And I try to put those on paper and always be mindful of those when creating. The beauty of art is that you don't always have to do that. There are times when you can have an agenda and make a card for somebody that had specific requirements, but you can also take that time to listen to yourself and to explore your thoughts and feelings through the process.
Thanks for joining me today. Don't forget to create your own story, and I'll see you next time. Bye!